3, I think I'm at now. So we were also taken to a resort type facility, country, like wine region sort of place, being watched, two-way mirrors, bathroom, that kind of thing, guns on me whenever I sort of stepped out onto the balcony, that sort of situation. Quite possibly this entire place was set up for this very purpose. Giant chessboard, which is always, well, actually at the time didn't even realize any significance until I'd heard a few other people's stories about dark stuff involving child abuse, and yeah, the chessboard sort of stuff came up. So yeah, I remembered that, and large dining hall, you know, all windowed, overlooking the pool area where the kids would be swimming. Remote viewed this for a little bit as well. I like picked up things as well about these pieces of shit that were watching us behind the window, the mirror. So basically picked up some conversations implying that my son was being watched and bid on. Now someone has their hand around my throat really tight right now. So I'm just gonna have to read the words. So the destruction that these parasites have caused is reprehensible, and they don't feel shame or sorrow. They are well beyond mentally ill. I'm doing this to fire a shot where it's needed and let them know that they're being rendered powerless now. So, you know, don't mistake them doing this to me, or if they do, you know, basically take me out and frame this, don't mistake that for them having any kind of power, because that is not what's happening here. All right, these people have taken a massive blow. If you know about this kind of stuff and you do this kind of spiritual work, you know, then you know what I'm saying. These people are getting their asses whooped now. So they may make an example of me, but that's not what's going on. Wow, voice is gone. So yeah, they're being rendered powerless now, and this is just not happening anymore. We are supported, we are backed up, and yeah, these people are not owed, and they don't deserve anything. My son deserves honor, he deserves respect, he deserves to not even have to hear this, okay? But he's an incredibly powerful little boy, as all kids are who have ever been through this kind of thing. That's where the strength is, okay? So these people can never take that from them, ever. They can never take that from inside of them. Okay, yeah. Least of all, you know, they don't deserve anything. Least of all our silence, because that's just going to breed more of this, like it has. And this was always going to end this way. I was always going to bring this out. I did tell them that this was going to happen, and nobody really believed me, and they thought that they could perhaps make a profit off the side by possibly putting us on the dark web. There's all sorts of stuff I've heard thrown around, like contracts, things like this. I don't know what they're talking about, but I cancel all spiritual contracts. I've got my little book there, like every night and every morning, just in case someone's trying to, you know, hook me up with something while I'm sleeping. So anyone who does this knows you sort of have these little things in place. And it has happened to me. Like, that's why I do it. It has actually happened. People have come to me in my dreams and like thrown contracts at me, and before you know it, there's like weird stuff happening. So, but if they're talking about a literal sense, no, that's not the case. I never ever signed any contracts to the effect of giving any part of myself to anybody. Why would I do that? Lucky to be sitting here to speak, and I just don't understand why anyone would ever do that to their child after what we've already been through. Lots of things that are being thrown around. Sorry, I'm just take a few deep breaths. So these kids can't speak for themselves. They're quite often drugged, quite often threatened. They're abused beyond comprehension, and traumatized. So very easy to manipulate and indoctrinate at that age, I think, and that's why. It's just, yeah, so much. But a lot of people doing serious work in these kind of areas, and that's why I'm saying these people have had their asses whooped, like absolutely whooped at the moment. And that's kind of when things amp up too, is when they get an ass kicking. Like, that's, things will start going off again, because they know what's coming. And yeah, this kind of work does require like serious power, and once you tap into who you really are, like, you realize that you have that. I should stick to the page because none of my words are making sense at this point. So yeah, I'm just gonna look. So I'm just going to leave this here. And I've put the truth down, and every word of it, every word I have said is the truth. And yeah, that is what it is. And over these years of doing all this work and everything and coming to this point, it takes like self-mastery to have been pushing forward through this, because there were times when that I don't think people would have made it that far, and that is their intention. They do suicide, torture, psychological, of course, but you know, people just need to like look up channeling and things like that, and they realize how easy this kind of stuff is. And yeah, I think, I don't even know the terms for some of this stuff, but what I would call it is suicide programming. And I was, and still am, getting it constantly, you know, why don't you just kill yourself? But more than that, like, it's in depth, it's really getting into everything that happens. Oh, well, you know, like, it's insane. So, if I'm still here, as I intend to be, like I said, I'm going to continue with my story, open to absolutely all lines of questioning. Possibly not going to be any, but could not get help for us any other way at all. I can't walk into the police station with these kind of, I can't. You know, it's going to be a tidy little package, and I'm going to end up in hospital again. So, absolutely open to any line of questioning, any viewing, psychically, remotely, or otherwise, anything. I am wide open here. And I had been saying that to these people right before this psychic connection came through that night about 4 years ago. You know, after I got past that suicide stage where, like, all of a sudden someone's popped in your head and they're talking to you. And, yeah, horrifying stuff, like, as well. It's not like, hey, how you doing? Once I got past that and just kept pushing forward and moving through, sorry, I think someone's listening outside my window again. Can I help you? Yeah, once I got past that stage, and I'm not gonna lie, it was very real. It was just information to me, you know. I was just learning, getting more knowledge really from them about sort of what they're doing, and like I said, they didn't think I was going to survive, or anyone. Main thing, the main theme was, no one's ever going to believe we've done this. No one's ever going to believe it. Like, who would believe that, you know, anyone would actually do that? So insidious this is. So yeah, I'm going to leave this here, and we'll see what happens now, whether I keep bringing through more details of this, but this is really heavy information, and I understand that, and this is what it is, and I'm doing this for my son and for all them. I'm gonna have to end this. They're not gonna let go of my throat. So yeah, I'm doing this for my son, to honor him. Not that he should ever see this. Don't want him to see this, but obviously he will. And it would have been much nicer if it was me who had the mental health issues, and that was what this was. It would have been much better for him.